But I'll just show you what's across the road here. This is rather cool. The ladies doing the morning exercise. So that's nice. I better get back. A stranger breakfast in a hotel I have never had. And you can just see Michelle sat in the window over there. Oh, it's chilly out here. Should have put a thicker shirt on, I think. So we've got this little bowl of fruit, well, watermelon, and nice fresh cup of coffee. Oh, good coffee at last in China. We've had some of the best tea here, but very little good coffee. So it's a welcome breakfast with coffee. And here is my breakfast. I've got my fruit, and I've got a couple of sausage, bacon, 2 eggs. Should be sunny side up. They're not. Apple juice. Toaster here behind me. The slices of toast. Michelle went for the American breakfast. She's got waffles, bacon, sausage. Pretty much the same as me.
You've got beans and tomatoes.
Just finished our breakfast. It's nice, wasn't it?
It's very nice.
I've never seen so many cool things made. This is like a drinks bottle made from a gourd. This one here is a beautiful, warty looking gourd. And these are a gourd that have been turned into a little, like a pepper pot, and Shell thinks they're for incense burning. Good colour. Oh, it breaks my heart to see animals kept in cages like that. Makes me very sad. I smile because there's no point getting angry, but it does break my heart a little bit. It would be nice just not to see that sort of pet shop anywhere in the world. And over here, peanuts. Somebody drying ground nuts or peanuts. This is a great little market street, isn't it? So this is just opposite where we had breakfast. There are all sorts of knickknacks for sale down here, including pets. But they're great little stores. Here's where you would get your Stegosaurus. That's not a Stegosaurus, is it? I think that's a Stegosaurus. See, I don't know my sauruses. Oh, and here's where yesterday I bought these dumplings yesterday for Michelle and I. So we bought these ones, and these ones. They were very good. Thank you. There's even hand-painted terrapins. Look. Oh my lord. Next to little hamsters and pile of bugs. I don't think I've seen ever anything so bizarre in my life. The terrapins, tiny little terrapins. A turtle. So we got little rabbits, long-haired, like Angoran rabbits, and then a big pile of worms. Next to that, got a little cat, a beautiful little cat. Oh, hello. Profoundly, the cat is next to rats. Please accept that I am feigning enthusiasm. I'm sure a lot of you would be furious, but you know, we're not in this country to judge. We can't come to places that we do not live and judge. I want to set them all free, but in reality most of these birds shouldn't be free in this sort of neighborhood. And I can't see them today, but there were actually brightly pink and yellow and orange and rainbow coloured chickens here. I'll put a photo up. I didn't see them on the street just now, but they're on this street. Ooh. You cold? There must be a few dozen of these pet stores down here. The typical sort of Asian way of having stores all grouped together, which makes it easier for people who are buying to come to one area and make a choice. Not a store I'd particularly, well, not a neighborhood I particularly want to see, the pet neighborhood. I know a lot of you out there have pets, but I'm sure most of you will agree that it's better to adopt a pet than it is to encourage any sort of retail of animals on the street. I just think, to me, it goes against every sort of fibre in my body to have pet shops. And I'm sorry if you've ever owned, worked, or have an interest in a pet shop. I just don't think there's a place in this world for pet shops. That's my opinion. It's a big building, Michelle. Jingjing Bird Jewelry World. The size of this place. I suspect it's just a shopping arcade. Not a... or would it? Is it a bird and jewelry world? Let's have a little look. I can see jewelry and I can see fish. No birds. Ah, but this is definitely a huge aquarium here. Let's go into this aquarium. Take a look. Wow. I'm not 100% sure why the plight of fish doesn't quite pull on my heartstrings as much as dogs and kittens and mice and gerbils. And of course it should do, really. I'm sure they're no happier. Look at these jellyfish. Are they real? They're not real. If they were real, they wouldn't have a piece of string holding them in place. Just for a moment I thought they were real. You never know. See, animals that live in the sea can be the most bizarre of creatures. So indeed, Bird Jewelry World probably should be renamed Fish Jewelry World. There has always been in Chinese communities a massive fascination with fish. Many of my Chinese friends have fish and are passionate about keeping fish. So I'm not surprised to see a place like this, and next to it is a fishing shop. So we have all the fishing rods and nets. Excuse me. So this is quite the well, is it the opposite? This is a whole area just dealing with fishing. Seen a lot of these huge carvings of elephants. Say huge, look at this one here. Look at that for a piece of timber. Michelle, stand next to that to give it some scale. How do you even deliver something this big? Is the price on here? Yeah. 38,000 RMB. You'll have to do the maths. I'm not 100% sure what that is. Anyway, back outside. And here is a very big elephant, but this is part of the store, I think. He's big, but it's a bit abstract, isn't it? It's not at all realistic looking. Onwards. So here we come across a little street vendor market. Selling all sorts of knickknacks. So old coins, bits of jewellery. Some of these coins, it's the old Chinese coins set in little collectible capsules like this. Some pretty little jade. Not even sure what they're used for, but it's got what looks to be a little bit of brass around here, but then a little bit of corrosive metal also. Pretty little beads, almost like a sort of Clasoni style bead, but I think they're obviously a Chinese bead with some semi-precious metals and stones. These are some Mao Zedong memorabilia. It's a little Chairman Mao, little badge. Here we've got a Mao Zedong 1949, 1969. It's a little wall hanging. Some more old coins. So there's some beautiful old coins. 100. Oh. So these are 100 for a coin. Huh? No. Just looking. No, the guy is asking me to negotiate for the price. Just looking. Thank you. Look at this. This is it's actually like a piece of soapstone. It looks almost like ivory or bone, but it's actually stone. And then are these the? I think that's a traditional Chinese writing on here rather than the simplified Chinese. Some beautiful old books here. Oh, look at these old books. But I think they look to have been dirtied up a bit, genuinely. I love this little piece here. This is Chairman Mao. Oh, look at this piece. How cool is that? Beautiful little piece. I was really taken by that little figure of Chairman Mao. I thought that's really nice, and then I walked along and there's hundreds of them, and I got a feeling there's no way I would get a decent price. There's stuff laying out here that they're asking sort of hundreds and hundreds of dollars for, just laying out on a sheet, and I'm sure the locals wouldn't be paying that sort of money. I've seen so many cool things down here. The first folding Ray-Bans, I mean really ancient. Let me just go back and show you very quickly. This one here, like a folding style glasses, and this little ring here. But the problem is, much as they're really, really cool, I have no idea. I would never get a good price on any of these stalls because we don't speak the language, and they just see us as an opportunity to make money. There's another pair of those glasses there, look. Let's have a little look. Have a look at these. So that's another pair. So we straighten those out. Ridiculous.
Yes.
So this guy is asking 280 for these glasses. But now I've seen about 4 pairs of them, and they varied from about 150 to 280. And when I handed them back to him, he just threw them down heavily. So he obviously can quite easily knock another pair up quite quickly. There are so many cool things on this market, and I suspect that you could easily get a really good price. Look here again. Now we've got the same folding glasses here. And these are modern style glasses. Look at this. It's a clock in a Switzerland, Omega. A genuine Omega clock from Switzerland. I suspect even these coins are probably sort of reproductions. But it'd be great to get some cool little souvenirs. So the funny thing is with these Omega clocks, is there are literally dozens of them. 多少? So 300 Sam?
300.
So 300 for these little clocks, but there are so many of them here in the market. These little pieces here, which are kind of cool. A little Kama Sutra characters. So how does see that little birdie in there? What do they call these timepieces? So you can see the little bird in the bottom is swinging backwards and forwards. Automaton? No, I would call it an automaton, but I'm not sure. But that is really pretty. This is the sort of thing you'd see at Antiques Roadshow, and they'd want to see this valued at several thousand dollars, but actually it's probably been knocked up very recently here in China. They're beautiful. This alleyway runs and runs. Thousands of coins and beautiful little artifacts. Most of it's probably reproduction, but if you were local, I think you'd get some great deals here. You might even find some genuine pieces, but at the moment I think it's mainly reproductions, because I'm seeing repeats after repeats of the same thing. I mean, there's the glass Swiss-made clock again in a glass ball. So every stall has got the glass ball clock. Another glass ball clock here. You know, if you were to see that on its own in an antique store, you might think, how beautiful. And then you might think, what about that gorgeous little clock, Lucy? That little bird clock. That's got to be genuine, right? Well, it's probably about as genuine as this one. and the other 20 or so that I've seen along this little alleyway. You can imagine in Australia, or maybe where you are in the world, you're going into an antique shop and you see that beautiful little clock with the birds, and the antique sky is telling you how it's a sort of Tang Dynasty clock maybe, or a Swiss or a Russian made clock, and you get all excited and maybe part way with a few $1,000 to buy this clock, and out he goes to the back and he's got a big box of them, dusts off another one, pops it in its place. I'm sure it happens. There's so many things there that would convince me in a Western retail shop that they were antique, but here they're quite clearly just complete knockoffs. Buyer beware. The lady takes the hot water and sterilizes the okay, so we'll put the tea. This is the black tea, yeah?
Black tea, yeah.
Okay, she just sterilized the tongs also. Thank you. So just a few seconds and you pour it in through here, and the black tea has a very red color, so we're going through a little strainer here. Yep. And the smell is sweet.
Rice. I see rice.
Rice?
Rice black tea.
Rice black tea.
Yeah.
So, has a sweet smell. It's nice.
It's sugar.
Sugar, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought sugar has sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because it's a fermented tea, it has a sweet sugar taste.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, so she uses a little pick to break the tea up. Like a bird's nest.
Got the water going in. Okay.
So we've got the little green tea now.
Feet. F-I-T.
Fit
Yeah.
makes me.
Yes, you need. Hi.
Cheeky. That is a.
Thank you.
So this is puer tea.
Yes, party.
Puer is black also.
Yes.
Okay.
Party is only making in Yunnan because he's trees, old tree,
Yeah. Old tree.
old tree. Yes. Only in Yunnan.
So puer tea is only in Yunnan, and it's picked from the old trees. So sometimes maybe 100 years, 200 years, 300 years old, and then again, what's your name?
Cocoa.
Cocoa, like chocolate.
Yes.
So as Coco was saying, they're using the small. I think we would say BOP, broken orange pekoe, the very small leaves from the top of the tree, the fresh young leaves. So next we're just going to try the green tea. Now I think what will happen, and we'll see whether Coco does, but I think the first pour is poured away. You don't have a teapot.
This one.
I use this.
Yes.
And you like this?
Yes.
The peanut, is it?
Okay, so we poured the hot water now into the green tea.
Clean.
That's the clean.
Yes. It's no drink.
Not drink.
Yes.
Gift for the teapot. So the first two feeds of hot water are just to clean the leaves through and to sterilize the pots and the utensils. The next one is when the tea starts to bloom. Okay, so now we've cleaned off the leaves and we've sterilized all the utensils, cups, and I get to try this beautiful green tea. Very different, very different.
Thank you.
It is almost, for want of another word, green. No, it has a more tannic flavour, lighter, softer flavours. The black tea I really like. The black tea, I'm pretty sure it's called red tea, but maybe not. The aroma is almost nutty, almost like the like the peanut. More tannic, a little bit more drawing on the tongue. The red tea,
The second
pour is
strong.
stronger. Yes. So Coco's saying the second pour of the
this
tea,
one,
yes,
it's stronger.
stronger. Might have been a little lost in translation there, but it draws more on the back of the tongue, so you have this sort of taste that pulls on the back of the tongue, almost like a very young wine would have. Not a smooth wine, but something that's a little sharper. Does that make sense?
Right.
So this is the fermented tea, the red or black tea. Much softer, like a red wine, almost like a red wine. It's softer, fruitier, but it has some sugars in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are definitely going to try and get some tea making equipment to take back with us. We'll see. If I do, I'll do a video on how to make tea as demonstrated here by Coco
Oh, hi.
and her little tea pet. Okay, Michelle and I went in KFC to get whatever this is. It's a blue ice cream. We saw it on the outside. It's just here. So it's got a black cone, and it's blue and white. I have no idea what it is. I got a feeling. Oh well, I don't know. We'll see.
Salty.
Is that because we were a little concerned? Was this going to be like a tea flavoured? And is it tea flavoured?
No, it's not. It's salty, the blue bit. It's not quite nice.
No idea what flavour that is at all, except for it's rice, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not got a real flavour. It's got a texture.
So we've had our breakfast, we've had a walk, we've now had our first taste of blue ice cream. It's not as blue, oh it is probably as blue as, I like the black ice cream cone. I cannot for the life of me work out what flavour that is. Ice cream flavoured. Has anyone ever come across a fake McDonald's anywhere in the world? I just don't think it would happen.